I've been thinking about something for a while now, and the more I think about it, the more uncomfortable it makes me, which is usually a sign that it's worth saying out loud. Is being a good person actually the right decision? Not morally, not philosophically, not in the abstract sense where you weigh the ethics and arrive at a clean answer. I mean in the practical, real world, this is how life actually works sense. Because from where I'm standing, looking at the people around me, looking at how things actually play out, I keep seeing the same pattern. And the pattern is bothering me. The good people keep losing. I want to be clear about what I mean by this, because it's easy to dismiss as bitterness or cynicism. It's not. It's an observation that I keep making in different contexts across different areas of life. The people who are genuinely kind, who treat others well, who do things the right way, they consistently seem to end up with less. Less money, less recognition, less of the things that the world tells you that you're supposed to want and get if you just do the right things. And the people who cut corners, who manipulate, who use their connections, who don't worry too much about whether what they're doing is fair, they keep winning. Not always, not every single time, but enough that I can't keep calling it a coincidence. And I keep asking myself, is this actually how the system works? Is being good genuinely disadvantaging the people who practice it? Because if it is, if the honest answer to that question is yes, then the advice we give people when they're young about being kind and playing fair and doing things right is not just incomplete, it's potentially harmful. And I think we should at least be willing to look at that directly. Okay, let me give you 3 specific examples, because I think the pattern is most visible when you look at concrete situations, rather than talking about it in the abstract. The first one is academic performance and career outcomes. Most of us grew up being told that if you study hard, get good grades, develop real skills, and treat people decently, you'll be rewarded for it professionally, that the effort compounds into something. And then you watch what actually happens. You see the person who was genuinely excellent in school, who was kind and diligent and honest, end up in a mid-level corporate position earning below the median, while someone who networked aggressively, who positioned themselves strategically, who wasn't necessarily better at the actual work, but was better at the game around the work, moves up faster, makes more, gets more opportunity. The skills got you in the door, but goodness didn't accelerate anything. Knowing the right people did. The second example is hiring. Specifically the practice of what in Indonesia we call orang dalam, the insider candidate, the person who gets the job because of who they know, rather than what they can do. Someone else goes through every stage of the process. They prepare, they pass the tests, they show up to the health screening, they do everything that is officially required, and then they don't get the job, because someone in the organization already had someone in mind before the process started. The system tells you that merit wins. The actual outcome tells you that connection wins. And the person who played it straight, who followed the rules because that's what you're supposed to do, pays the cost of a process that was never actually open. The third example is relationships. Specifically, the dynamic between what people call the good guy and the bad boy. The good guy is patient, considerate, and reliable. He shows up, he communicates, he treats people with care. The bad boy is unpredictable, inconsistent, a little dangerous in a way that is somehow compelling. And the pattern, not universal, but real and observable, is that the second type gets the attention that the first type was told he would earn through his behavior. Again, not every time, but enough times that the people on the receiving end of this start questioning whether the qualities they thought were assets are actually working against them. So why does this happen? Because I don't think it's random, and I don't think it's because the universe is fundamentally unjust, though some days it feels that way. I think most of the systems we operate in, professional, social, romantic, were not designed with goodness as a success criterion. They were designed around power, visibility, and advantage. And being a good person gives you none of those things directly. Goodness is passive in a system that rewards action. Being kind doesn't generate leverage. Being honest doesn't generate connections. Being reliable doesn't generate visibility unless someone is already paying attention to you.
Meanwhile, the things that actually do generate results, strategic relationships, confident self-promotion, a willingness to use advantage when you have it, tend to be associated with people who are less concerned about whether they're being good while they do them. This doesn't mean that bad people always win. It means that the specific qualities we associate with being good, deference, patience, playing by the rules, not using people, are neutral at best and actively limiting at worst in systems that don't reward those things. The system isn't rewarding badness, it's just indifferent to goodness. And in a competition, indifference is the same as disadvantage.
So the question is, should we change? And I want to be honest about how tempting the answer yes is. Because if the pattern is real, if goodness is genuinely disadvantaging the people who practice it, then the rational response seems obvious. Stop being good, or at least stop being naive about it. Start using the tools that actually work. But here's where it gets complicated for me. When I imagine actually doing that, becoming someone who uses people, who moves through the world manipulating outcomes for personal advantage, who treats relationships as transactions, I don't feel motivated. I feel like I'd be becoming something I don't want to be. And not for moral reasons necessarily, just I don't think I'd like who I was in the mirror. But there's a difference between that, becoming genuinely bad, and something more nuanced, becoming strategic, learning to self-advocate, building connections intentionally, using confidence rather than deference as a default. Not abandoning your values, but also not treating kindness as an excuse for passivity. So maybe the actual issue isn't that good people are too good, it's that good people are too passive. They wait to be recognized instead of making themselves visible. They follow the official rules of a game that has unofficial rules running underneath. They treat patience as a strategy in a system that doesn't reward waiting. So maybe the change isn't stop being good. Maybe it's stop being good and invisible at the same time.
I don't have a clean ending for this. I've been sitting with this question long enough to know that I don't have a satisfying answer, and I'm a little suspicious of anyone who does. Because this isn't a math problem, it's a question about how you want to move through the world and what you're willing to trade for what. And those questions don't have universal answers, they have personal ones. What I do think is this: the version of being good that we're often sold, be kind, be patient, follow the rules, and it will all work out, is incomplete at best. The world doesn't automatically reward goodness. If you want the outcomes, you have to go after them. Goodness doesn't replace strategy, it has to coexist with it. But I also think that becoming someone who treats other people as obstacles or tools, becoming actually unkind in order to win in a system that rewards unkindness, is a trade that costs more than it gives. Not because the universe will eventually balance the books, I'm not sure it will, but because you have to live with who you are every day, and that's not a small thing. So I'm still good, for now, but I'm trying to be smarter about it. Drop a comment and tell me where you land on this, because I genuinely want to know. Has being good ever cost you something real, and did it feel worth it? I'll be reading everything. Subscribe if you want more of this kind of thinking, and I'll see you in the next one.